Hey, what up, guys? It's Sean Trades here from Stock Dads. Here are two plays that I played to the downside this week. Starting off with Costco here, this actually was two plays within the same week. One was actually an unfortunate loser, and second was actually the exact same play, but in a better structural entry. Starting off with the day here, we have this nice trend line going on. From earnings, we had this massive down day, piercing through both 9 and the 21 moving average here for me, closing right below, with also volume confirmations. I always love seeing, selling volumes at demand zones where buying pressure is supposed to be present. So when you see this type of selling pressure at buying zones, it's a really good indicator that continuation to the downside is likely. However, one thing that I should have done was actually wait for my second entry. I just thought that the such selling pressure like this was enough to actually give us a really good way deeper continuation, all the way down to my PT of 680 and about the 700 level. But that wasn't the case. We actually pulled right back to the 715 level and we reversed quite significantly um, right at open. So I had to unfortunately sell it for a loss right at the top here. However, I took immediate re entry as soon as I realized that we're seeing weakness right at this red zone here, which is my point of interest, my POI, because that was the previous area where we had support, and that was also the previous area where we lost support. So it was a make or break it area there for me. And as you guys can see, the previous day we were pushing right above into this zone right here. This was a entry day. Sorry, entry day right here. I cut for a loss here. We failed to reclaim above the key level, right? And then pre-market started showing immediate weakness. So from that point on, I realized that this could be a good pullback play. In fact, this was a better entry for downside because I didn't really fully wait for the retest here. So we had the initial drop. This was a retest and reject. So I took puts right there. Got the 715 puts on my Discord right here. Go to my channel. Yep, right there. So we were able to get out at 30% gains. Not, you know, anything significant, but was able to get some profit back from my impatient entry there. And that's fine with me as long as we realize our mistakes and we're willing to correct it and hopefully not repeat that same mistake again. It's all a learning process for all of us, right? So I do have some runner positions right now, just because we're still not breaking back above this level. We're not reclaiming above the key level that buyers need to reclaim. um, so I still feel that if we continue to fail to break out above the 740 level, we can continue down and retest the 712 at least one more time. So I'll take my runners off there. And next setup that I played, this was actually yesterday. It was TTD Puts. This one, it's pretty self-explanatory. It was a very simple textbook gap fill play. Obviously, we have this massive gap here. I wasn't expecting it to have such a big red day in one day. However, there were a lot of confirmations for me. One is that, of course, the gap fill. Two, we're seeing lots of weak candles in a descending formation. Descending formation means we're not creating higher highs or higher lows. We're creating lower highs and lower lows, right? AKA, that's how a downtrend is supposed to look like, right? And I also like downside a little more from these upward actions where we're rejecting off of this short-term downtrend level here that I have drawn, the green trend line. And we also had another flat day here as well, penetrating below the 9 and 21 EMA. I do love using daily 9 and the 21 EMA as some sort of a confluence to expect more downside moves and vice versa. I like using 9 to 21 EMA as a confluence to the upside if we're breaking above it. Okay, so we didn't really get too much of a retest here. We sort of flushed right away, but knowing that SPY was showing weakness and we had this type of selling pressure right at the open, so we had some sort of short-term reversal attempt here, but failed, quite harshly there, right? So we took entry right after this retest failed. Took the, let's see which ones I took. Uh, let's see, 77 puts for next week. Got filled at $1. Trimmed at 25% gains and trimmed also more at 45% gains. With the PT all the way down to end of the gap fill, so 76.20 level. I'm not sure if we'll get there today or eventually soon. But for now, we are in a quite oversold territory, so I do expect some sort of reversal. But runners are not going to be stopped unless we can reclaim back above the 80 level, because that's going to be the key level for the buyers to accept back above to continue higher. All right, I hope everything made sense. If you guys have any questions on these setups or need any clarifications, please let me know. Thanks, guys.